Can you react in time when in just a blink of an eye, the prey is completely taken down? In today's video, you will witness the most brutal moments when venomous snakes hunt ever recorded on camera. Authentic footages showing the terrifying power and hunting instinct of these silent assassins. Let's explore right now. Vine snake versus lizard. The vine snake uses three-dimensional vision to lock onto the target. Knowing the lizard can detach its tail to escape, it aims for the head or nape to completely neutralize it. The first bite hits the flank. However, the sturdy, horny scales of the lizard act like a natural shield, making the grazing bite very difficult to cause a deep wound. Because the fang structure is located deep in the throat, the vine snake cannot bite and then release. It has to let go of the prey, temporarily stepping back to calculate another tactic. The lizard cautiously looks for an escape route, but the predator does not give up. It weaves through the foliage to re-establish a more perfect formation. A second accurate bite to the neck area. The vine snake holds the prey dangling tight and begins to chew continuously, pushing its fangs through the hard scales to slowly seep venom into the wound. This venom is harmless to mammals, but is a specialized death sentence for reptiles. The neurotoxin cuts off all signals, causing the lizard's muscles to completely freeze. Python versus mouse. On the forest floor, a mouse probing for food has been ambushed by a python. The bite happens in a split second. The tight constriction coil does not break bones as mistakenly believed. The chest cavity pressure skyrockets, exceeding the heart's pumping pressure. The mouse falls into a coma state after just a few seconds. When the victim's heartbeat completely stops, the python opens its mouth wide to cover the entire head. The backward curving teeth act, solidly holding the victim tight, unable to slide out. By moving its jaw muscles independently, the python pulls the whole mouse down. Right at this moment, its heart swells by an extra 40%. Digestive enzyme volume increases 40 times to be ready to process the food mass. After a yawn, realigning its skull, the python slithers away. Its stomach is now a chemical laboratory with a pH of 1.5. This extreme heat-releasing process will dissolve the entire skull into an amino acid soup. Copperhead racer and water monitor. On the decaying leaf carpet, the water monitor clashes with the Copperhead racer. Reacting to the enemy, the snake immediately coils its body into a defensive S shape. If grabbed, the flexible skull of the water monitor will lock its joints, executing a death roll. The massive centrifugal force will sever the snake's spinal cord in a few seconds. But even if biting the opponent's face, the water monitor's blood contains extremely strong antibacterial peptides. The wound will scab over at lightning speed, turning the counterattack effort into a slight scratch. However, after a period of assessment, the energy-consuming risk is not worth it. It turns its head, calmly walking away. Golden tree snake versus Tokay gecko. The golden tree snake is constricting the Tokay gecko. The venom containing 3-FTX protein has paralyzed, breaking the van der Waals molecular adhesion force, making the gecko free fall straight into the constriction coil. In danger. The Tokay gecko opens its mouth, intending to let out a 100 decibel shriek, but the golden tree snake immediately bites its snout tight, completely extinguishing the acoustic attack on the vestibular system. With its head locked, the gecko is desperate. It cannot detach its tail itself. When the entire body is wrapped tightly with no gaps, the tactic of sacrificing the independent neural network in the tail to escape is completely useless. All weapons fail. The Tokay gecko is exhausted. The constriction coil loosens. The golden tree snake uses its flexible jaw joints to swallow the prey from the top of the head. The battle ends. The hunter slithers quickly through the leaf layer, disappearing into nature to begin the long day digestion cycle. King snake and Copperhead. The Copperhead scans with infrared. But the king snake is completely invisible. The ghost locks onto the target with its pheromone-sweeping tongue. The death strike. The Copperhead pumps hemotoxin-destroying tissues, an amount of toxin enough to kill a large dog. The proteins in the king snake's blood immediately lock the venom tight, turning the chemical weapon into a side meal. The king snake counterattacks with a 180 millimeters of mercury hydraulic press, taking only 3 seconds. The pressure ruptures brain capillaries. The Copperhead fades away. The maximally elastic jaw ligaments help the king snake open its giant mouth, swallowing the enemy whole with muscular strength. Mussurana versus Jararaca. Amidst the night forest carpet, the Mussurana constricts the venomous Jararaca snake. The cruel battle begins under the decaying leaf layer. The Jararaca venom contains tissue-destroying enzymes, but the Mussurana's blood has alpha globulins acting as bait. They immediately lock the toxins tight, stripping away the victim's weapon. The physicochemical attack takes place. The Mussurana's Duvernay's gland pumps specialized venom into the nervous system, sharply reducing the opponent's muscle tone. The Jararaca's body goes limp. The paralysis helps the constriction coils squeeze to the maximum. The massive pressure collapses the air sacs, blocking off life. The biological explosion state is immediately activated. The heart rate skyrockets many times to meet the high-pressure digestion process. The stomach secretes concentrated acid, dissolving hard scales in a few hours. The meal closes. The hunter carries the energy source, slithering into the darkness. King snake versus Copperhead. The king snake wraps around the Copperhead, stacking its ribs to create a perfect sealed pressure chamber. The extreme pressure forces the heart valve system to a halt. Blood cannot return. The Copperhead suffers local ischemia and brain death in less than 60 seconds. Now is the challenge of swallowing the venom-fanged triangular head. The king snake activates its pterygoid bone joints, acting like a conveyor belt. Instead of pushing, its two jaw halves move independently. They slowly walk over the Copperhead's head, pulling the victim deep inside without tearing the esophagus. By the mossy log, the internal organ restructuring process silently takes place. The capillaries around the king snake's stomach immediately expand strongly. Bracing itself to push the final tail tip into its belly, the intestinal epithelium will double, massively pumping antibodies to decompose the Copperhead's venom into harmless amino acids. What you have just watched shows that in nature, just a small mistake can also be paid for with a whole life. For venomous snakes, patience, speed, and precision are exactly the advantages that help them become the most dangerous predators. If you find this video fascinating, hit like, leave a comment about the moment that impressed you the most, and subscribe to the channel to continue watching other dramatic wild stories. Thank you for watching. See you again on the next journey of discovery.